Hello everyone, my name is Sandeep Gupta and you're watching Electric Vehicles. In the comment section, there are two questions that we keep getting very commonly. Number one is, if my budget is under a lakh rupees, which model should I buy? Or, if I want to buy a low speed scooter, which model should I look for? Now, in this video, I'll tell you about which models to buy, yes, but most importantly, I'll tell you which models and which brands not to buy if your budget is under 1 lakh rupees. Stay with us. So first of all, if you're looking to buy a low speed scooter, then you should know that MORTH, Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, they have come very heavily on these low speed scooters. They have directed all the state governments to look into all those dealers that are selling low speed scooters. Well, in the pretext of selling a low speed scooter, they're actually selling a high speed scooter. Now, according to the CMVR Act 1989, Central Motor Vehicles Act, a low speed scooter, a low speed vehicle is a vehicle that can reach a top speed of 25 kilometers per hour. Such a vehicle will have a motor capacity of not more than 250 watts, and if you remove the battery, the without the battery, the weight of the vehicle should not exceed 60 kgs. Now, if a vehicle ticks all these boxes, then that is considered a low speed vehicle, and that is how you can sell it. Now, a question in most of our minds, well, most of your minds who have not been following electric vehicles too keenly, is that why would anyone want to buy a low speed scooter? One can buy a high speed scooter, a scooter that can touch a speed of 60, 70 or whatever, and then ride it at 25 kilometers per hour if you need to, and when you need to, you can go back at 60 kilometers per hour. Now, the reason why low speed scooters are favored by both customers and dealers is that for a customer, a low speed scooter does not require any form of registration, any form of license to ride. So you can just pick your scooter without any papers, without being worried about police stopping you, traffic police stopping you or getting a challan. You can ride your scooter. What is in it for the dealers? For the dealers, if they're selling a low speed scooter, they don't need any form of certifications. They don't need any form of approvals, which means what they're selling is not been inspected by any sort of government official or government body, which means that we are getting subpar scooters. These dealers, they import scooters from China, slap on their sticker, and they sell it in the pretext of it being a low speed scooter. But when you test ride it, these scooters are touching a top speed of 40 kilometers, 50 kilometers per hour as well. So that's for the low speed models. Now, which brands you should avoid? Well, let me tell you, ARAI has come down heavily on Hero Electric and Okinawa. Why? Now, these two brands are the largest sellers of electric two-wheelers here in India, and they've always been topping the list. ARAI has stopped the FAME to subsidy for these two companies. Now, why? FAME to subsidy was originally meant for companies that are producing electric vehicles locally. So that's a good push for the local manufacturers as well as those producing electric vehicles, which is it's a good push for the EV community as well. Now, FAME to subsidy was earmarked for this purpose only, where the local production of a vehicle is at least 50%. Now, of course, it's a given that batteries and cells cannot be manufactured here in India for the simple reason that we do not have lithium reserves. But other than that, the production of the vehicle body, motor and other parts is very achievable, and ARAI has set a very respectable limit of 50%, at least 50%. But these companies, Hero Electric and Okinawa, as per ARAI claims, have not even been meeting that minimum 50%. What they do is they import vehicles from China, they slap on their stickers, one slaps on a Hero Electric, one slaps on a Okinawa, and they start selling these vehicles. Now, it can be very easily identified because there are certain models that you will see over and over again in every brand. For example, Hero Electric has launched this model called Eddy. You will see that very commonly across the brands. Then there is the Vespa design, the classic Vespa design. Every other company is emulating that. And then there is also the Okinawa sells this iPrace Pro, Prace Plus model. This is also, if you go to Ampere, you will get to see this vehicle, this model actually. So if you go to Alibaba.com and if you type for electric scooters, these are the very models that you will see. These models come from China, and every company slaps on their sticker and starts selling these vehicles, and then they claim money from the government. They claim FAME to subsidy. Now, let me give you some data. For every model that Okinawa sells, it makes at least 17,000 and at most 35,000 rupees. That's per model. For Hero Electric, per model, they're making at least 19,000 rupees and at most 47,000 rupees. Now, mind you, this is all free money. And this, by the way, is just the data for one model. If you combine the sales for Hero Electric and Okinawa, they both are selling per month 17 to 18,000 models. Now, my goodness, do the mathematics and tell me how that sounds for free money. And mind you, that's free money for them, but that's money gone from our pocket, because this FAME to subsidy, the budget that the government allocated is coming straight from you and me, from taxpayers' money, right? And this is what these companies are it's a fraud. Now we'll have to see what kind of strict actions are taken against this company. But mind you, next in line is Ampere, Jitendra, and Revolt. The government ARAI has directed these companies to produce all their papers, all their manufacturing details, and they will tell you if it is meeting 50%. If not, these companies have also been claiming FAME to subsidy. Action will be taken against them. So in this video, I've already told you about which models to avoid, which is the low speed models, which brands to be wary of. Now we'll have to wait for the result. For now, Hero Electric and Okinawa stands with no subsidy. I told you about the next in line. Now what options, we know what not to buy, but what can we buy? I'll talk about three models. One is Grafton Quanta, the other is Ola S1 Air, and then there is of course Bounce Infinity. Now my personal experience with both, all these three models is that I have booked all of these models. Now Bounce Infinity I booked back in, I don't know, maybe February when it was launched, and then Grafton Quanta, I think Grafton Quanta was in February, but one was in February, one was in June. I booked both these vehicles the day it was launched. Now I am looking for a vehicle that I can send to my hometown, which is Assam. Now obviously after all these 6 to 8 months of waiting, none of these companies have been able to deliver anywhere close to the Northeast, so there is no hope for me, there's no meaning for me to wait any longer. What I did is I sent an email to both these companies, Bounce Infinity and Grafton Quanta, and I told them that I have waited long, and now I want to cancel my reservation amount, which is 499 rupees. Both these companies, they immediately took my bank details and promptly issued a refund, which I have got by now. So I'm happy. I'm happy to see this kind of behavior, customer service from these two companies. But other than that, if you're looking to buy Bounce Infinity, I can tell you the experience of my team. My Hyderabad team has already tested in a Bounce Infinity, and they find it to be good for the price point that it comes at. Grafton Quanta, of course, we are waiting to get a test ride unit, but Bounce Infinity could be a good option for those looking for under a lakh rupee scooter. Other than that, Ola S1 Air. Now, mind you, Ola S1 and S1 Pro has a lot of build related issues which most customers have been complaining about. One of the biggest one was the shock absorber. I mean, the most severe one rather. I have seen photographs where people have showed that their front suspension has broken off completely. Now that is because of the monoshock suspension, the single arm that they're using both in the front and in the rear. With the S1 Air though, they have gone back to the traditional model, which is having a dual shock absorber unit, which is two arms in the front as well as in the rear. That does, from the picture and of course by the tried and tested authenticity of this established model, we can say that the shock absorber unit should be better in the Ola S1 Air. Other than that, even the build quality with the grab rails, the way it is welded, does look better, and we hope that Ola has learned from its mistakes of selling the S1 and the S1 Pro. If that is the case, then Ola S1 Air could be a very compelling buy for those looking for scooters under 1 lakh rupees. And given the fact that Ola is now aggressively pushing for showrooms and service centers, the physical stores where you can go and actually test ride the vehicles or maybe get your scooter service. This is all good and fine, and you can also share your bit in the comment section. But before I end this video, I also want to talk about another option that no one thinks about when they're thinking about a budget of under 1 lakh rupees. Electric cycles. Now that could be a very good option. If a cycle meets your requirements, then I urge you to go test ride an electric cycle. Now the electric cycle brings all the advantages of a cycle, which is lightweight and you can take it anywhere, and plus it brings an electric motor which lets you ride without breaking a sweat. So that is what an electric cycle offers, and if it suits your requirement, then you might as well buy an electric cycle for 40 or 50,000 rupees and save the other 50,000 rupees in your pocket. Now let us know what you thought of this video and comment your own thoughts as well, and subscribe to this channel for more. Go green, go electric.